You see it?
I do.
No. I don't see it.
Let's see. Alright, we straight. I'm just gonna let it go since we already late.
Listen, man.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, or they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban excellence, a product of my residence. From 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't tryna go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.
What's good? What's good? Welcome back to another week
Peace.
of the Urban X podcast.
Peace.
What's good to the family out there, man?
Yes.
A little late.
Another episode. Ready to unleash the beast.
Yeah.
How you been?
I've been good. This week actually kind of flew by in a way. I don't know.
Shout out to the family out there.
Shout out to the people. Shout out to the people that's in the chat. Shout out to our people that's here.
Yes.
Actually here with us.
Absolutely. We have Odyssey in the building. We have Wifey in the building. Eli's in the building. And my special guest, the producer of the track you was just listening to.
That's your all love.
All love. Clint Koo in the building.
Facts. Let's clap that up, man.
Clap that up.
Let's clap that up.
Yes. And his brother Mars McKenzie. That name is so dope.
Yeah.
I think I'm changing my name to Dot McKenzie. Dotson McKenzie.
No, you're gonna stop calling me Dotson, V.
Dotson McKenzie.
You're gonna stop calling
We jacking his shit.
No, that's his real name though. So
we gonna jack.
No, you can't. No, it's not as cool.
I see your waves are coming in. I'm gonna give that a little clap.
Clap that up.
Yeah. Because if this week showed up and the waves ain't show up,
You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, homie, you gotta get up. But I got some good news.
What's up?
I got some real good news. The big boys showed up. The AARP, baby, clap that up. Yeah. I'm official. They be like, sir, that's gonna be $42. I be like, no, it won't be. Bam! That'll be $35.50. Slam down the AARP. Now me and wifey can go to Olive Garden on a Tuesday with all the old people, and we can eat all the salad, soup we want, garlic bread,
all the breadsticks.
All the breadsticks.
Okay.
And just pull out the big boy.
Okay.
This is magic. Now, see, when you get my age, these are things you look forward to, right? Now, I'm waiting for the 5-year countdown, right? 55 and over, me and wifey get to move in the gated community. 55 and over, no young people can show up. Tennis, golf, bingo night, and you young people can't show up. You just can't show up unannounced. Swimming in our pool and shit and eating out the snacks that they lay out for old people. No, that's not happening, right? And you know me, I'm gonna join the tenant patrol soon as I move in. But like 911, I see some young people
just snitching. Okay.
They just walking around doing nothing. Come get their asses. Come get them.
Snitching.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I haven't even looked at all the benefits, but there's some shit in there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Movies and clothes and
movies,
just movies and old people's shit.
Okay.
Food and shit. So be proud when you get your... And wifey not even 50. She getting one because she with me. Clap that up. Yeah.
She's gonna keep clapping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See where that works? Yep. So that's what's good, man. It's a lot going on in the world. We are glad you are here with us.
Facts. We appreciate you every single week.
Every single week we appreciate
us.
the love and support that we get. And let's get that thing moving. Let's get that thing popping.
All right. So, big news of the week: midterm elections.
Midterm elections.
Yeah.
How did we do? Did you vote?
I went. Yeah, I did vote.
Good for you.
Yeah,
that's good. Clap.
Wait, no. Listen, I voted because my mother cursed me out at the idea of not voting.
Why? Because let me get this right.
Yeah.
Your ancestors died so you can vote.
Yes.
Right?
That's exactly what she said. And every counter argument I had to that, she was just getting more and more angry. And I know my mom, so when I know when to stop.
So you didn't all proud of that shit, right? Yeah.
But I guess as a whole, Democrats pulled it out, I guess. Like, they got the House back.
Okay, so that means now they can move on Trump on some other things that they couldn't move on before. Okay.
And what I thought was interesting was...
shout out Let's Get Free. Appreciate the love.
Appreciate it. What I found was interesting, like, a lot of the races that were, like, publicized, like, the one, like, Beto, the one that LeBron was getting behind, the one that... Oprah and Beyonce and them was getting behind. Abrams, all of them lost.
They lost. Yeah, they lost.
Yeah.
And she lost, and it's a tight race.
They're actually going to do a recount.
They're going to do a recount.
December 4th.
Because this guy Kemp is a shady dude.
Yeah, he was actually in charge of the recount, like, Bob, the Bush brother. That
Yeah. So you already know.
Yeah.
He was down with the Bush boys. So their numbers are always funny.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's my thing on the voting in general.
Okay.
I want to stress this. Because I put something in the group chat. If you voted, great. If you did not vote, great.
Mm-hmm.
Now people thought, well, you playing the fence. No. It's levels to this. If you feel that voting is a part of the freeing you process, then I think you should participate in that. You know what I mean? You should participate in your freedom, or what you perceive to be as your freedom, right? If you did not vote because you feel you're connected to this on a whole other level, it has nothing to do with actually voting, voting for the people who oppressed you in the first place, right? And you have your reason, then that's great too. We have to get out of this mindset that it's right or wrong. It can be right and wrong depending on where you vibrating from. You know what I mean? Yeah. And don't tell me I should vote because my ancestors they died so I can vote. My ancestors didn't die so they can vote. They died for their freedom, and they thought voting would lead to their African spiritual traditions as opposed to Christianity. But I don't hear nobody advocating for that. My ancestors died so that they can own their own businesses, and as of 1865, we own 1/2 of 1%. In this country, and today we own 1/2. My life is not based on your opinion on how you see reality. Yeah. That's why I don't go in on people's religion. I don't spend time going on your politics. That's you. That's your world. We live in a multiverse, right? And you might be vibrating in universe A, and this is the way it's done, and I might be in universe B, but they're all connected on a string. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for people to get offended like you didn't vote, no, nigga, I didn't. And yet here we all are. Those who voted and those who did not. We still occupy the same time and space. So if you voted and got your participation sticker, you came out all proud.
Yeah, people were snapping on Instagram.
Yeah, that's good for you. You know what I mean? If you didn't, because you understand things on a different level, not a greater level, just a different level, then so be it. You know what I mean? We have to get out of this, aspect that You know what I'm saying?
First of all, the saying that your ancestor died for the right to vote, so you should vote.
Collins, thank you so much.
Always
Appreciate it.
So to say that they died for the right to vote, so you should vote. The right to vote and actually voting is different. So the right to vote is to say I can if I want,
right,
but I don't want to.
And not only that, remember back then there. Let me make this point. If this was based on morality, if the politicians were moral beings, that would make sense. But we don't live in a moral reality. Everybody is corrupt. Police officers, if they were on a moral basis and you did a crime and they'd arrested you and that was that and they kept it moving, I would have no problem with police officers, right? But they're corrupt. The judges are corrupt. Because they got to fill these prisons so that they can get, you know what I'm saying, those kickbacks, and the 13th Amendment can be put on hold so that slave labor can continue to move on. Even the prison correction officers, corrupt. How the hell are the drugs getting in the prisons? And it goes on and on, all the way up to the politicians, senators. Everything in this country is corrupt. So therefore, me expecting a vote, just my humble opinion, to lead to my freedom.
Oh, shout out to Tabitha West.
Tabitha West, you getting a foot massage as soon as I see you. I don't care where in the country I see you. Just be like, hey doc, this is Tabitha West. I'm gonna get down on one knee. I'm just gonna start working them bunions. Appreciate the love.
For real.
Appreciate that support. So you understand my point?
Yeah.
We do not live in a moral, because if we did, then sure, the vote would say, I can vote you out of power, but it just doesn't work that way. And now it's leading to other things because the history of voting has not led to what we expected it to do, and they keep selling hope. Hope is the greatest commodity.
Yeah.
That shit is the greatest commodity going. Hope.
Yeah.
I hope we get freedom. I hope this is not a Ponzi scam. I hope inside that box is a real iPhone that I paid $30 for. Hope is like crack on a whole other level, right? Obama 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I told you when I got a little misty eye, I started crying. I had the bottle because he said, this is some real shit going on. Change has come. And then I took a mental snapshot of the neighborhood. I said, because this ain't going to be like this.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Hope and change has come, and 10 years later, it's worse. So, hope is that shit, son. So, and people selling you all kind of shit, they basically selling you hope, I can give you this and you can lose that 50 pounds, man, I hope, you know what I mean? Or I can get rich quick and I hope, and hope is, damn.
And then, and a lot of people, my thing with voting, right, especially if you don't want to vote, if you're not educated on the issues.
Gangster. And she was like, boy, if you don't get your ass,
not voting.
So 99% of the people you asked them, what were the policies that made you vote for that person?
They went to vote because Diddy threw a concert.
Yeah, right.
That's all they gotta do for black people. You gotta throw a concert, say vote or die.
I don't even ask people, family and friends, because I don't want to put them under that kind of pressure. Like, what were the policies of so-and-so? What do you mean? What was the problem? Why would you? I voted Democrat. You know how it is. We got to get Trump out. And that's all that mattered because they're going to sell hope on a whole nother level.
Oh, he was wildin'.
Oh, you man was wild. Yeah.
He was wildin' afterwards.
That nigga's gangster.
Yeah.
That nigga's gangster.
So first off, his first. No, all right, let's before we get there, let's stick with the elections.
All right.
So the state of Nevada voted this guy, Dennis Hoff.
Isn't that the guy who's dead?
He's dead. They voted him as, I think, not the governor. I think the governor.
The governor of
Nevada.
And he's dead.
He's dead.
And
he won by 60%.
He won. A black guy was trying to beat him, right? Yeah. Who was trying? I think it was a black guy trying to beat him. And they was like, we're gonna vote for the dead guy.
60%.
Yeah, we think the dead guy has a better chance.
And he owned the brothel too.
Yeah, that's the dude who owned the brothel.
Yeah.
That's where your man Lamar
Odom.
Yeah, your cousin.
That's not my cousin.
That's your cousin. By marriage, nigga. That's your cousin.
That's fake
now you don't want to claim him. If the nigga won a championship last year, you be claiming him. That's your cousin, nigga. We be transparent on this show. Alright? Your mother married the nigga's first cousin, so that makes you like the cousin.
This is it.
And you and your family out there in brothels and shit. You know, yeah. But he was the one. He was in the brothel.
Yeah, I thought that was ill, man. But
that it goes to show you the ignorance. They willing to vote for somebody who's dead.
Yeah.
Right. That brings me. What movie was that Eddie Murphy was in? Not Trading Places, where he ran on some. Was it Trading Places? Where he ran on a name of somebody who was dead, and they voted him in. What's that movie he went to? Come on out there in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
And he was a politician and shit, and then he really tried to change something because that girl had cancer on her head, her wig fell off and shit.
Oh, so he ran for state senate, not governor.
Oh, state senate. Okay,
good looking. See,
thank you. That's why I love
the chat.
That's why the chat be correct and all that. Because I be spreading fake news all the time.
Thanks, me too.
Later on, people comment me like, "Doc, I like you," but that just was
distinguished gentleman.
Distinguished gentleman. There we go. Clap that up for the. You get. We sending you something. Yeah.
See, that's why the chat. See, that's why I like going live.
Distinguished gentleman, where Eddie Murphy and shit was running as a dead candidate.
Yeah, so like we said, Trump was wilding afterwards. He had a press conference the next day, and it was like it was incredible. It was incredible to watch.
When he stepped away from the podium,
I thought he was going to snuff
on Ortiz.
Yeah,
whatever. What's his name? Jim Ortiz or whatever.
The dude from CNN.
I thought he was going to give him the business because he kept saying, "Yo, son, I need you to pipe that down." And then he raised, "Yo, son, I'm going to tell you one more time, son, on everything I love." I thought he was going to get real like on everything I love, son. And then he stepped away from the podium like he was ready to two-piece.
Yeah.
I said, "Yo, Trump is crazy."
And then he named all the
B son, my man, I love you, King. Appreciate the support.
He gave he named out all the Republicans that lost and said he wasn't cool.
Oh, he snuffed his own team.
He was like he ain't wanted to be down.
So look what happened.
Look what happened. He ain't bend the knee. That's a Game of Thrones reference.
Yeah, that's a Game of Thrones reference.
He ain't want to bend the knee, so that's what happened. He lost. He lost by a lot too.
Yo, I have to admit this.
Yo,
I'm starting to like Trump. I'm starting to like Trump, man. I'm starting to like because it's hip hop. It's anti everything. It's anti-establishment.
No, it's being a president in real time.
In real time.
Yeah, like basically he said, "Yo, Obama killed a lot of people. He bombed a lot of people.
He did,
but he did it like a president. Like he whispered in somebody's ear.
Yeah, so, yo, get that candle.
And he said that was you ain't hear about it. He said Trump tweets about it right after.
Real time, yo. See that dude in Afghanistan? He's no more. He was there. He's gone.
He said he did it like a president. You know what I'm saying? So
Trump was like,
what else he do? First, he fired Jeff Sessions, so he made him resign.
Yeah.
But he basically fired him because Jeff Sessions recused himself from the Mueller investigation,
right,
which would have protected Trump. So that kind of pissed him off. He didn't want to do it prior to the election.
Right, he wanted to wait until after.
They'd have probably lost a lot more.
Right, they would have lost a lot more if he had done it. So
more.
he waited right after and backed him. And now the guy he's coming in was Sullivan. What's his name? The guy who's coming in is more of he's against Mueller a little bit.
So he's against Mueller, and then he was actually on CNN talking about what Sessions should do. He goes, "Yo, all you have to do." He didn't say I would fire him off right.
Right.
He said all you have to do is drain his budget to the point he actually can't perform this investigation.
Absolutely.
So that's what he would do, which is gangster as well.
It's gangster. Now I'm hearing Pelosi might pardon Trump from any charges. That's what I'm hearing in the grapevine.
Why would she do that?
I don't know. Some backdoor deals. This is all about backdoor deals, man. So this is why I don't play this game of politics, because it's politics. You know what I mean? It's a lot really going on with this and backdoor deals and this and that. But your man Trump, this is just really abnormal shit. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of like, what's crazy? Like the first 2 years, he was in control of everything, right? He had the House, he had the Senate, everything is, and he's a Republican, so everything is all him.
Right.
Now that he's like losing, quote unquote, on it, like I expect more erratic behavior from him.
Well, let's see how this bounces, because now that the Democrats have the House back,
he flat out said, he goes, "Yo, they might as well get along with me, because if stuff goes wrong, I'm just gonna say it's the Democrats' fault."
Absolutely,
which was
absolute gangster. Right. This is gangster. And remember, you're not dealing with a politician, and this is where people are going wrong. You are dealing with a businessman. That's it. All he knows is business, and he's not that great of a businessman to begin with. but he's a businessman. So instead of seeing things from a political view on how to be politically correct, he's just like, nah, son, nah. And there's a lot of cold words going on out here. When he's saying drain the swamp, he talking about all them pedophiles and all that shit that's going on in Washington that nobody speaks about. When he's talking fake news, he's actually telling the truth. We've been saying it's been fake news for years. And now he's just coming out directly and saying fake news, drain the swamp. And it's another term he mentions. And those is code for, I'm going to clean all this up. So when we start looking at factions of white people, because we think it's white against black, it's rich against poor.
Yeah.
Right? And for the most part, it's rich against poor. And then there are rich fighting other rich people for power that we don't get a chance to really understand or get a sneak behind that curtain of what's really going on. We're just getting the residual effects and trying to process it with our small minds and make sense of it. You know what I mean? So keep your eye on Sessions, because now Mueller might pull him in and be like, yo, you want to talk now? You know what I mean? But there's certain things he can't say because he didn't say it before, and if he brings it out now, it'll look a little weird, but there are ways around that. Wasn't this the dude standing behind the curtain in the White House, and Trump was... Is he the one? Somebody was behind the curtain, just like...
Oh, and the guy's name is Matt Whitaker.
Whitaker, okay. Whitaker's the guy.
Who's replacing him.
Who's replacing him.
Yeah, and they said like it's a 0% chance he's going to recuse himself from that.
Nah, he's going full steam ahead. And
but here's the thing, because the Democrats have the House now, right?
Yeah.
The main problem, a lot of people, the main problem we couldn't like go after Trump because like they were shut down all investigation because they didn't have the rights to do so. So now, do you try to impeach him, or do you let the investigation go for as long as it can?
I'm not sure he's going to make a second term in any capacity.
No, I'm talking. I don't think me neither.
Right,
I don't think so either.
I'm not sure if you let him live out this term, because if you, when the last time we impeached the president? Nixon?
Yeah,
successfully. Now, last time I impeached the president was, ladies and gentlemen, we have the honey drifters in the house tonight. That was impeach the president. That was one of the break beats. Clap that up for hip hop. For hip hop.
Okay.
I do it for hip hop. But had to be Nixon with the Watergate situations, right? So I'm not sure you can impeach Trump because he keeps saying shit like, if y'all keep fucking with me, shit gonna be going on in this country. And he mean that because he has, hillbillies everywhere ready to fire off. You know what I mean? And if they think something is happening to their boy, things could get crazy. So he's shielding himself with the very, shit that he's supposed to be dismissing. Nazis and rhetoric. And he said, didn't he say some wild shit like, there are bad people everywhere. The Nazis, some of them are bad, and some of these
fine people.
Yeah. I was like, this is some gangster shit. You know what I mean? I'm starting to like him.
You know how he fired Sessions? He took his replacement. It was already typed letter of resignation. His replacement went to Sessions and said, sign it.
Wow.
Didn't call him over the phone.
Didn't say, yo, bro, thank you for everything you did. He just was like, you out of here.
Sign it.
That's some gangster shit.
Yeah.
And again, for those who feel, once we get Trump out of there, America will be great again. I don't know about all that. America wasn't great before he was in there.
I just think we need somebody to blame.
Again, this goes back to the opposite of hope.
Yeah, we just need somebody to blame.
We need to be able to say, this is the problem. It's outside of ourselves. That's the problem. This is hope. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we run it in place. It's the same. How are we gonna fall for that again? We just fell for that. Yeah. We just fell for it, and we're gonna fall for it again. Problem, reaction, solution. Because the next Democrat, maybe Cuomo from New York, because I think he might be running, is going to be the anti-Trump. And then all you people who feel as long as we get rid of Trump, and then 8 years later it's going to be the same. Use analytics. Just look at your neighborhood. Just look at your neighborhood and tell me which president brought about true change for your neighborhood, or was it you yourself who got off your ass and said, listen, I don't care who the president is, my baby's got to eat, or I have to go to school and do something for myself. Stop putting this on something else other than self.
That's why I had such a problem with this election in the first place, because it was just fear mongering. You know what I'm saying?
The whole thing was fear mongering. But it's always.
I've never seen that many people out for a midterm election in my life.
Right. I didn't see that many for a midterm election, but when Obama was running for president the first term, I never saw that many black people. All black people, just all kind of people who had to be wheeled up to the booth, and people they just was out because they sold us that change had come to America. You know what I mean? And that this would be different.
Yeah, the line was long. I remember
the lines were crazy. And I just went to go get a coffee in Butterroll. I just saw the lines. You know, I was voting and shit. You know, but at the same time, the lines were long. Because we want to believe, we truly, deep down inside, we want to believe that change is going to come, and that somebody outside of ourselves can bring that change. We really do want to believe that.
And I saw people. I didn't know this was a thing, right? Apparently, every year for every election year, people go to Susan B. Anthony's gravesite.
Somebody said Clinton got impeached. Did he?
He didn't get put out of office.
He didn't get put out of office.
That's right. He didn't get successfully impeached. He got brought up on charges.
Right.
But he didn't get found guilty. So to be impeached is to be brought up on charges.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
that's what that is. But what I was saying is
Susie B. Anthony. Okay.
Yeah. Every year, I guess for election, people go to Susan B. Anthony's grave and put the "I voted" stickers as a thing, but. If you remember Susan B. Anthony, she actually said that she would give her right arm before she would work to get a nigger a vote before the woman.
Facts.
Which is basically the blueprint for feminism.
Yes.
Right?
I did not know that. I'm getting rid of all my Susan B. Anthony coins.
You got Susan B. Anthony coins?
Is that the $2 coin?
I probably butchered that quote, but that's what she said.
Yeah. Which coin is that out in the chat room? The Susan B. Anthony? I think it's a $2 coin.
I was just like, what? People really?
Yeah. Again, this is crazy, but you know. And how are the open enemy for us, right? The external open enemy, gonna set the rules for how to beat them. You guys have to, and now the votes, they might count, they might not, because George.
Again, in Florida, they might have 2 recounts for governor and 1 for state senate. Okay. Because it was some
Gillum lost, right?
Gillum lost.
He lost.
But
I heard it was only 1%.
Yeah, it was so close that
he should have went for the runoff or something. Why did he back down?
I don't know. That was interesting.
That was odd.
Yeah.
I'm not really into politics, but I tune into CNN just to kind of,
Yeah, so Georgia is definitely going to be a runoff on December 4th.
Okay.
So people, because when I was checking for those numbers, she was getting killed.
Right.
And I tweeted, I'm like, it's not looking good.
Right, it's not looking good out here in the streets. Right.
It's not looking good because she was getting killed. But what's some other winners? This woman, what's her name? Oh, my bad, hold on. This woman, her son was killed.
Oh, Lucy McBath is her name or something?
Yeah, Lucy McBath.
McBath. And she is now an activist, and a lot of these mothers become activists. Trayvon Martin mom has a not-for-profit organization. A lot of these mothers become activists to say we need to bring about some kind of change.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe in voting locally. You know what I'm saying? For your local people, that you can walk into their office and actually see them. But I never see Chinese people voting. I never see Jewish people voting. I never see Indian people voting. Why? Ding, 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 ding.
Well, they don't need. I guess they don't need to.
Ding, 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 ding. They don't vote because they understand that the process
is money.
It's money.
Yeah,
there you go.
Lobbyists.
Yeah. That's how you see. They're moving beyond the moral aspect. I hope you're honest and you're gonna do the right thing, because they all say that shit. I would say it too. I told wifey I'm running. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna offer better health care. Clap that up. and you know, better care for the elderly. Yeah, more police officers. Right, and then when I get in and they hand me them checks, hey, y'all ain't got no money, y'all can't play. So they understand the process is go to these lobbyists, put that money in somebody's hand and say, make sure our shit is done.
Yeah.
While the rest of you are out voting just paper ballots. This shit is deeper than
the first time I saw that actually at work was that story that the Asian cop that killed the dude in the hallway. In the
project hallway.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You saw that shit. That Asian cop was shook. He was in the hallway, pulled out his gun, killed that dude, right? And I said, oh, this is cut and dry. Right. He going to jail.
And then you just started seeing like a whole bunch of Asian people at them
trials.
I was like, oh, it's over. He's about to walk.
And his ass got a year or something really bizarre or probation. He walked.
I think he walked. I don't even think
he walked because that money talk. You know what I mean? All the rest of that shit y'all can keep. So just, understand,
and that be the argument a lot of the people who talk about not voting make, right? They say like, yo, we need to create a strong economic base for ourselves so we can actually make things happen.
Because the LBGT community has it. Money. The
Jewish community,
community, money.
Asian community, money.
So money in this country, as we all know, money is doing the talking.
Hey.
And we have hope. I'm paying with hope. And that's not going to get it done. It's not going to get it done.
To me, the idea of elections is kind of weird because if you're a Democrat, you usually vote Democrat, right?
Right, all the way down the board.
All the way down the board.
You shouldn't. You should vote Democrat. Right, but we don't. I used to just go in and go Democrat. I did vote because I voted one time.
This name sounds cool.
I was like, who? Johnson? Yeah, that sounds like a brother. I hope he do the right thing. Yeah, I did that.
But so
that is not exempt to all that.
I think the example is set with Trump, right? The people, they're Republicans who know he's an idiot, but they still voted for him.
They still voting.
They voting party first rather than
party first.
So who are these campaigns actually for? Like the campaign trail. Like who are you trying to win over when you know your base is gonna vote for you anyway?
Absolutely.
I'm confused.
Yeah, it is confusing. Like why they keep because I told you.
Because Florida is a racist state.
On a metaphysical level, your participation allows them to continue to rule you. So you participated in this bullshit. Yeah. So even though whether you vote or not, you niggas gonna still be in poverty. You know what I mean? But your participation on a cosmic level gives us permission to do this because you voted for this shit to happen to you. So that's what that shit is. Because remember, where your attention goes, energy flows, and whatever the case is. So it's more about your energy as a participant in this shit than your actual vote. We should know that already because all the black people in this country couldn't get Obama in if they tried. Point blank, right? So it took the participation of other people and all of that's a part of it because you agree to this. And then every 4 years you agree again. And then you hope that something's going to change and then you agree again. Right. So it's a yo-yo kind of money. And we keep, you know what I'm saying? And then I guarantee you in 2 years from now, it's going to be, you got to get out and vote because we got to get Trump out as if shit is going to change when the next president gets in. And I have no historical data that says different. Right?
I'm actually fascinated what's going to happen in 2020.
I'm an analyst. I just studied that analytics.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. So, check this out.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
We fancy. Man.
Yeah, we got fancy.
We fancy.
Y'all didn't see that coming.
At all.
We got fancy on y'all.
At all.
We got a bigger budget now. We do some special effects and shit. Yeah.
So, what did you think about Roland Martin's response to Tariq Nasheed, who again was talking about not voting and why he didn't think voting was smart? And then Roland Martin basically, stop listening to these fake conscious Negroes,
these fake Malcolm X's.
Yeah.
Ongoing beef. However,
there
is an ongoing war in this country between the so-called woke generation
that's what I wanted.
And the traditionalists who feel they needed the boule niggas who need to do shit a certain kind of way. Absolutely. But I just thought, again, being conscious or awoke or awake, whatever the fuck y'all call it today, is taking on a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Because of a lot of the stuff you see going on.
It's actually dismissive. It's actually like, you conscious. You
a hotep.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, usually when I say hotep, I mean peace and how are you, sister, and this and that. So, you one of them smart hotep niggas, huh?
Right.
Damn, I never thought being intelligent and trying to be spiritual would be looked down upon. Yeah. But it's we live in a real twisted, bizarre world. And then again, certain aspects of the community has shown its ass, the very bottom, bent over, open ass, cheap ass, right? To the people are going, God damn! If that's what being conscious is about, I don't want no part of it. I'd rather keep eating, hog ass and bacon and ribs and shit and living my life. So, with that being said, but I will say this: that was never the intent. And everyone has the ability. See, we got to get out of this mindset that only black people are conscious. There's a conscious Asian community. There's a conscious Jewish community who, they are awakening to things that are going on within their synagogue. And so forth and on. It permeates beyond just black people.
Right.
We just think we the center of the universe. So whenever we doing some shit, because everything we do is so fucking fly. You know what I mean? So, when we learn some shit, it's fly. How we break that shit down. How a nigga can come home from prison and can read the whole Bible or the whole dictionary on your ass. You be like, God damn, right? And then actually, I got you. A dude just got me outside earlier today, and I know it's a hustle because I heard this story before. He got to go to a shelter and this and that. And I just say, blah, 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 stop. What do you need, man? I need $5. Man, I just said, keep the story, nigga. Here's the $5. He just got on his bike and took off. You know what I mean? So, we get to this point where being woke, because the internet has opened up certain aspects to things.
This just proved my point that I made last week when we were talking about if they're talking all black people need to unite. These are two dudes who definitely agree on white America, white supremacy, how it affects us, but they completely disagree on everything else.
And you spoke the exact same thing.
They completely disagree on everything.
And this is why I say to you, the minute your conversation, right, we can barely agree, like I said, on what we're gonna have for dinner after this. It just should turn into a mutiny in here. You know what I mean? So, you have to move amongst. I'm not against uniting, but stop looking at the world as we need, because that's just a big burden to carry. Just unite amongst those who can make things happen and put your money to work. But it was funny how he trolled his ass. Tariq Nasheed trolled him dancing with Hillary Clinton.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Hillary!
Yeah.
Yo, that was some funny shit. So you do have the older generation of Boule, those who, and this new woke generation.
I used to like Roland Martin until he had that the alt-right guy on his show. And then I watched it again. I said he actually got chewed.
He got bodied.
He started bringing up Jesus Christ, and I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah. But and so we have multiple wars going on with each other, right? We have a so-called conscious community. We have the new woke community who, they green juicing it too and all that shit. And then we have the old constituents who are like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? And change is inevitable. That's just the thing. Change is going to come, and you just can't stop it. You can stay on your square and believe what you believe, but we moving forward. You know what I mean? So
Richard Spencer, that was his name.
Richard Spencer
said, book reviews, please. I'm actually reading a book right now by Robert Greene, The Laws of Human Nature. Dope.
Laws of Human Nature.
Yeah, dope.
Okay, that sounds dope.
Yeah, I'll do a review when I'm done. It's long. It's like 600 pages. So, but yeah.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
We're talking about some little ignorant It's not
Well, it's time to get ignorant.
No, it's not really.
Little ignorant.
But LaMelo Ball decided he's gonna go back to
Lithuania.
Chino Hills. His pops pulled him out. He went to Lithuania. Then he went somewhere else. He went to the JBA, and now he's going back to school. So the JBA project looks like it's over.
Yeah. The junior basketball league is over.
Like, with LaVar Ball, it looks like it's over.
LaVar Ball is toast with that. And again, prize game, not a game of checkers. And you have to remove your emotion. You can't take down the NBA with one yellow son of yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In essence, that's what you're saying. My son is in, and it does not work that way. These people will murk your whole family. Right? And they will stop you on every angle that they can. You have to integrate somewhat. But it's just like in the Matrix movies. Neo understood I have to go into the Matrix, but I know this shit ain't real. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to integrate somewhat, understand the way the characteristics and the algorithms of the damn mainframe work, and then throw a hack or a virus into the system in which you can benefit from. You cannot be ending, and when I call you on it, then the people call me on it. I'm hating on a black man. No,
I remember that.
I can see this bullshit coming a mile away. You know what I mean? So we have to move differently, and hopefully his son will do well. His son is like an average ball player. If you ain't Zion Williamson right now, I ain't fucking with you. If y'all ain't seen this boy from Duke,
that was
he's 6'7", 285 pounds. And can handle the ball behind his back, make passes.
I don't think I've ever seen athleticism.
He got a left hand shot. He is dangerous.
I've never seen athleticism like that.
Now they've been watching him for 5 years. This is how they work. They don't worry about the future because they are in the present, right? Yeah. So they already know what the future of the NBA is going to look like. They already know this kid is going to be the next LeBron James. They already know it. So they're preparing for it. He's going to do 1 year at Duke, and then he's going to come into the NBA, maybe to New York or one of these teams that need to be tanking.
Yeah, they want them winning the other day.
Because Cleveland is tanking right now, and they'll fuck around and get him and restart that whole shit over with LeBron 2.0. Don't think they won't. So this is why those in power don't worry about the future. You worry about the future because, you know what I'm saying, they don't. They know because we control the present.
Right.
So we know what the future is going to be. So that's the way that works.
Yeah. I just thought it was unfortunate because LaVar Ball's idea, like the concept was great.
It is great.
You know what I'm saying? And I think and I don't want to sound like he should have been like, buck dancing for the NBA, but he should have played.
He should have been buck dancing for the NBA. Point blank. See, listen, these white people will come into your church, kiss your babies during election time, sing gospels with you, and they hate you with everything in their passion and in their blood.
You seen that picture of Beto the black barbershop with the Gucci cake?
Yeah, they're trying to get to a point, and they will hang around you and all of this shit until after the election, and then it's done. I'll never stand next to the white man, and we losing because we playing checkers.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So don't beat me up out there. I'm just telling you how they do it. Hillary Clinton, she's the best at this shit. She hate black people. Yeah. Her husband hate black people. But they know they got to come out and play this game and bring out the bottle of hot sauce and put on a concert. For whatever you niggas want. You niggas don't want to talk policy, right? Y'all want a concert. So we'll give you a concert. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm going to do when I run. I'm giving a cookout. Shit, I ain't gonna be. What are you gonna do for poor people, nigga? The ribs over there. Get in line for the ribs, sir. You better get in line early because I just saw 6 or 7 black people walk over there. You know how they doing with the ribs? Make his ass forget why he even here. Shit, he's eating ribs, and I'm voting for Black Dot and Dotson. You gonna run with me?
I got you.
That's what I'm saying, man. Fuck.
I'll be there.
Shit, we gotta get some of this bread too. Everybody cashing in. Fuck, we gotta cash in too.
Oh, real quick, can you pass my charger for my bag? Thank you. So this guy right here, right? His name is Dutch name. I don't want to mess it up. His name is what is it? His name? This guy he's a positivity guru he's a positivity guru, and
he's a positivity guru.
Yes,
they have those.
Yes.
So does that mean everything he says is positive?
I guess, right? So he's a positivity guru, and he's 69 years old, but he's filing legally to have his age changed to 45 because he wants to attract more women online. So I thought this was interesting because he says he identifies, that's the key word when people try to use trans anything.
Right. They identify.
He identifies as a 45-year-old. And I thought this was set, if it goes through, will set a really dangerous precedent.
It's going to set a dangerous ass precedent. It absolutely is going to set a dangerous precedent. If all of a sudden you can identify with some shit.
Especially age, right? When we talk about pedophilia and things like that. So now I could say,
I identify as an 8-year-old boy. And now I can have fun with 8-year-old girls.
Right. Or little children, I identify as a 21-year-old, so I want to drink now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets out of hand, and we talked about this. We asked for it. Like, you want all this acceptance. You want people to be...
I already told you, I'm going to tell you for the last time, when I come into your restaurant, if you do not have a cat box, when I go to your bathroom so I can scratch and make pee-pee and doo-doo, I want to see the manager because I identify as a cat.
His name is Emily Raitlin.
You know what I mean? I identify as a fucking cat.
Yeah.
And if your shit ain't there, I'm going to sue. I'm going to fucking sue because y'all not complying with my shit. Right? But this is deep on a whole nother level. Let me explain to you why.
I got it.
Because in retrospect, I'm going to identify as Jesus. Because serious, that's a lot of money right there.
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead.
Black dot Jesus. That's who I identify when I walk these streets, pay me. No, but it lends to the mindset of this is why the new generation are who they are.
Right.
Because these rappers and this new generation, they are taking advantage of the Matrix. They create these avatars in their mind, understanding that they can be anybody they fucking want to be. Right? Mm-hmm. And your agreeance to that bulges of money hanging out of his pocket.
It's actually a cool name. I wonder
and
if somebody using that.
Dappy, be sexing women and flying around in jets. That's the avatar that he creates in the Matrix and he identifies with, and you participate in it, and Lil Dappy getting that, and you mad at Lil Dappy because you on your job, you waiting for your little 2-week vacation and shit, and Lil Dappy living the life that you can only dream of, and now you resent Lil Dappy because he understands that we live in a multiverse. I'm gonna get a little out there, right? We live in a multiverse, and where you choose to reside in that multiverse, there are superpowers in your mind that you can access. That's what another thing with all the drugs and shit is about, right? So these guys are taking these, they're sipping on this lean and popping these pills to take them into places that you won't go because I'm too fucking scared, and they're creating these avatars of who they want to be, and they start believing that shit. All is what?
Mental.
All is mental. They come back as Lil Dappy. Like, nigga, I went to school with you. You Danny. No, nigga, I'm Lil Dappy. And my team around to fuck you up if you don't comply with me being Lil Dappy. Right? Then they come out with these mumble raps that are inaudible to you because you're not in multiverse B. You're in multiverse A. So this shit sounds fucking crazy to you, but for everybody else who participates in Lil Dappy's mythology and story that he created, they understand that shit. They fucking party. And it's usually young people,
Odyssey,
right? Who down with Lil Dappy. Yeah. You old people trying to get real time, and regular folk are starting to catch on and saying, I identify with this. So this is who I want to be. It's a brave new world out there. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's a brave new world because if he pulls this shit off,
I don't know if it'd be crazy if he does though.
Listen, stranger things have happened. He's a positivity guru. Didn't you just say that? Yeah. He's thinking positive. Clap that shit up.
Yeah.
He's thinking positive. I'm telling y'all, it's a break. And what do? I don't do nothing, nigga. I'm just cinnamon. Look at my badass body. I am Cinnamon. And they live that shit out.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, Cinnamon is in G5 jets going to Dubai and all that old shit. And girls going to school and trying to do the right thing. But, you know, that's just the way that shit works.
So
I hate to say that.
Speaking on like identifying on something else, there's a guy in the UK. His name is Anthony Lennon.
Anthony Lennon.
And he is a white dude.
White guy.
And he said he's a born again African. And he got a filmmaker grant that is for people of color.
And it was for $500,000?
$500,000.
Clap that shit up. That shit is gangster.
Yo.
Y'all playing games.
Yo.
Y'all playing games
That's
out here.
sick, man.
Now you see it in full real time. I am a born again African. So now give me this grant. You know how many white people gonna start doing that shit?
Especially the ones that was mad at like affirmative action
and all of that shit that came through. You see white people be claiming Indian heritage all the time.
Oh yeah.
They do that shit all the time on the low.
Yeah.
So they can have inheritance to certain land.
The woman from what state is that? Is that Massachusetts?
Cause I even heard that dude on them commercials when we was kids, and somebody would drop a piece of paper and shit, and a tear would roll down his eyes. I heard that was not an Indian guy. He was not native. He was a white dude who just associated with the culture, and boom. So you know, it's a lot of weird shit going on. And if you ain't using your magic, that's on you.
Yeah, that's sick, man. I'm just saying, you know. I just thought it was interesting.
Very interesting. And we're going to keep an eye on those specific cases. Because he already got the money. And he got a smirk on his face, too. Yeah, look at his smirk.
Yeah, this is him right here,
Yeah. He almost looked like a fake Egyptian. Like they were using those Egyptian movies and shit. And they don't want to say the niggas is black. Yeah. And they don't want to say, well, we can't say they white because that would really be crazy. Let's make the nigga look like this. Like he's whack. Yeah, he's black and white. He's whack. Let's clap that up. Yeah. I'm on fire.
No.
I'm keeping them.
No.
Cranking them out. But you understand that's how they do that and shit. So nobody can argue. Black people in the theater can't argue and white people can't argue. We just gotta go fuck it. Well, maybe that's where they looking. I've spent 40 years reconstructing the bones, and this is what he looks like. With a straight face.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So you heard about the mass shooting that happened? That was yesterday.
That was yesterday or the day before?
The day before yesterday,
yeah. 12 people killed.
12 people, and this is the 307th mass shooting in America, and it's only like 311 days that we've had.
We need to process that 307 mass shootings. See, most of these mass shootings you don't even hear about.
Yeah,
they don't air them.
First of all, what constitutes as mass shooting? I think it's like over 4 or 5.
Right.
So we think of mass shootings. We think of 20,
40, 50 people.
No,
but 4 or 5 people.
That's happened in mass.
That's a mass shooting. Yeah. And how many of those were from Muslims?
Right. Don Lemon did a study on this he did a breakdown on this the other day. It's like less than half of those shootings. I have to get those specific numbers.
Okay.
But the one that happened the other day, white dude, ex-Marine.
Okay.
They're already painting the PTSD picture around him.
So he's not a terrorist.
Yeah.
He has post-traumatic.
They're already painting that story.
He has mental illness. Yeah. Which is the narrative for white people.
And what was even crazy, I saw a report on the Huffington Post that some of the survivors that were in the bar were survivors from the Las Vegas massacre that happened last year.
Almost to the day?
It happened in November, I want to say.
People in the smarties in the chat, I'm calling a lifeline. Calling in a lifeline. Let me know when that Vegas shooting happened. Because I think it was last year. I did I did a piece on it. Yeah. So let us know the date on that. And I still have 50-50. And some of the people who were at the Vegas shooting. So was he trying to finish these motherfuckers up? I mean, not to be insensitive, but that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like when I heard it was a country club, I said, ain't no niggas in there. So I knew that. But that's just ironic. Or.
Go ahead.
Just going to say it.
Go ahead.
I said the Vegas shooting was a hoax. Right?
Mm-hmm.
like those were crisis actors. Maybe these were crisis actors too. Maybe they got a new gig. We like the way you did that in the first gig and moved you on to the second gig. Very possible. Listen. Nothing. I throw nothing past this government. I'm just simply saying. But I still want to say he's a military man. Mm-hmm. So there might be some, MK Ultra aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? But with all that being said,
I just don't like how, because it's military, they can throw the PTSD out. Because it could be dudes from Chicago who watched their mans get killed right in front of them. They do something and it's not PTSD. It's he was wrong.
Right. Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, black people go through PTSD all the time.
Our whole life is filled with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And because he was over in the Marines, not
to say that they don't go through something. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying.
And I'm not trying to make fun of the people who passed away. I'm just simply saying, in this day and time with so much fake news and fake stories, we just want to make sure we uncover it all. So, condolences to those who passed away.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We don't want to, put that out there. But let's just be diligent in how we disseminate this information and process this information, because that's just a little weird that the people from Vegas, where did this shooting happen in California?
Southern California.
That some sane people were there. It's just, it was a big concert.
It was a concert in Vegas and Cali's not,
Okay, so I will recant that statement. Maybe that didn't happen.
Yeah, Tamara's niece, Tia and Tamara.
Yes.
The twins, her husband's niece, Tamara's husband's niece, was there.
Oh.
They've been looking for her. She was crying all day today. They was devastated.
Oh, okay, so she was out there.
Her niece.
Her niece was out there.
Her husband's niece was out there.
But did they find, is she okay?
She died.
Oh, she died.
She died.
Ouch. Ouch. See me not getting all the story.
Jerk.
Wow. Yeah, I can be that at times.
Jerk.
Ugh. But again, we just sent our condolences out.
I can't even look at you.
To the elderly.
I can't even look at you.
Yeah.
Take the camera off him.
Into the sounds of Urban X.
I like that, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's funky.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's funky. Yeah.
So it was reported earlier this week that Floyd Mayweather was going to be fighting in an MMA fight versus some Japanese.
The Japanese guy, yeah.
Yeah, but Floyd came out and said that it was not true. The fight wasn't official, even though he did a press conference on it.
Yeah, like, what's the deal? Is he backing out of the fight now?
I think he's backing out of the fight because people figured if you do this, you're broke.
Gotcha. So he don't want to tip his hand.
Yeah.
Because what would you be doing out in Japan anyway, talking about you're going to fight somebody? Like what? That makes no sense to me. And it's going to be MMA fight?
Yeah.
Dude, you don't want no parts of that. I saw this MMA dude punch this dude, kick this dude, and then punch and kick this dude again before he knew what even happened. And then he hit the floor like bam. So you don't want no parts of that. If he's broke, that's bad. That's bad if he's broke.
I think he is.
If he's broke, that's bad.
I think he is. And not broke to the point he has nothing, but I don't think as much as
maintain the lifestyle that he's living.
Yeah.
Right.
Different I've said this before. It's at this point, like with the media, we've seen extreme levels of wealth to the point it's not a big thing anymore.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, before when Cribs was on TV, it was like, yo.
Yes, that was.
I remember a lot of those houses were rented and stuff like that.
Anyway, yeah.
But that's when.
That's why I love Redman. Redman's MTV Cribs was classic.
Yeah.
His house was a mess. He was like, yo, come on in. This is what's going on. So that was kind of classic. Yeah, appreciate that. So yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on Mayweather. I know 50 going in on him a little bit. Right?
Yo, because Shannon Sharp said, he made his last 3 fights. He made over $500 million. You shouldn't have to do anything ever again.
Anything.
And always the debate I get in with people when I talk about this is, he can do whatever he wants. He's undefeated. Yeah, cool. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm not saying that. Making money, but at the same time you've worked your career to not have to do this anymore. He preached big on, keeping his mind, making sure that's why he became a defensive fighter. I want to keep my mind. He even kind of threw shots into
what's the money team management where now promotions you overseeing fighters so that you can keep the legacy going as opposed to you having to get down and actually scrap again. But his mentality, I don't know what his IQ is. Remember, Kevin Garnett came right out of high school to the NBA, and he had that same agent and took advantage of him for $77 million that he's now suing him for. So, it can happen. It really could. Tyson thought he had all that money. He didn't.
All right. Yeah.
Don King, had all that money. You know what I mean? So, not surprised at that.
All right. That's it.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
In the chat room, get your questions ready.
Yeah, we're going to answer some questions.
Yeah, we'll answer some questions in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So just get some questions ready. And, we'll have some fun and do some interacting and, try to answer some questions.
So this week's Urban Excellence shout out goes to my mother.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, let's clap that up right away.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And obviously, she punked you.
No, this has nothing.
Doing this report.
This has nothing to do with that.
After she punked you to make you vote. So go ahead.
This has nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The other day, this was during the week. This happened to be like Tuesday. She was up really, really late, right? Making lesson plans for her students, making a mock test, making sure she had different strategies for different kids, and it just amazed me, right? Because the next morning, she was up at like 4 before I woke up, still at it, right? So I'm just like, yo, how do you do this?
Right.
And then she started talking about how she has a list of students, she has their grades, she has different ways she tries to teach them. And my mother's a teacher. She's a 6th grade math teacher in the Bronx, in one of the poorest congressional districts in the actual state of New York. And she gets these kids who are low-level math students, and almost every year, like 80% of her students go up in scores, right?
Wrap that up.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And in the black community, in the urban community, we know how we are about math. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of other subjects are subjective to other, but math is the only universal subject we're taught, and that's one of the subjects we all struggle at.
Right.
A lot. I'm not gonna say we all, but a lot of us struggle at.
Because of the way it's taught to us.
Because of the way it's taught to us.
Right.
And my mother, I see her go above and beyond every year with her students. She lets them call her personal phone to help with homework. We could be eating dinner, watching, and she'll stop everything to help her students. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was admirable because we don't have a lot of black teachers in our community, a lot of teachers who even care about our students.
Facts.
And I just wanted to give a shout out to my mom.
Shout out to moms.
I'm really proud of her.
And I had certain teachers who I know cared for me. And the fact that they cared for me made me want to perform better. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the children are not dumb, right? So they know, who really cares for them, who they can lean on. And that's why in my book, Urban Culture Decoded, I said one of the questions a teacher has to ask a student is, why are you here? Because each student is there for a different reason. Each student has to be taught differently. Each student has to be catered to, and it's hard to do when there's one teacher and there's 32 students in a class.
In a class that's in a school, damn near, that's not really provided for by the state. By the state,
right? So this is a charter school.
It's a charter school.
It's a charter school, so funding is always low, and these children are coming from situations at home where this is their safe haven. I told you, for me, I came to school to eat breakfast and lunch because dinner in my house was not guaranteed. And I was running from situations, and it provided 8 hours of solace where I could just be around kids who were like me and forget about the lesson plan. You know what I mean?
Right.
It became more about one of those situations. And I had a few teachers who recognized that. You know what I mean? By the way I was dressed or this and that I needed extra help in certain fields. Now I was always bright. So I did well in school to make sure my mother didn't come to school. Now how crazy is that? Most kids want to do well so their parents can come, but my mother was a junkie. So I didn't want her coming to school nodding and embarrassing me in front of my friends. So I excelled so she wouldn't have to come, except once or twice a year during assembly, and she would usually have it together. But I had a teacher named Miss York who's very similar to your mom's. Your mom's has been on this mission for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? giving that extra effort, and them kids are reciprocal. They return it.
Hey.
So I'm also hearing some other things, but we won't talk
we're
about.
not
Okay, all right. So this is an urban excellence story,
Yeah.
dude. You got to brag on
Yeah,
the urban
that's it.
excellence story. So
And-
shout out, moms.
Facts. And then like you were just talking about it. My mother is a very strict every day, right?
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's grimy. Like I'm like, Mom, what's up? And she goes, yo, listen, that's the only way they're gonna learn. But the fact that she's so tough, the kids realize it. Like, listen, she's doing this out of love, basically. Like, she
Absolutely.
wants me to succeed.
She wants me to
You know what I'm saying?
succeed.
So I thought that was dope. And yeah, again, shout out to moms.
Shout
Love
out to moms. Yeah. Woohoo!
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So I don't know if you heard, but Missy Elliott is being nominated to the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Clap that like Missy's my girl. Yeah, I rock with Missy. Not only a creative artist, she fully took advantage of the video aspect of things.
Yeah.
And all of her videos were very creative, and it really made you appreciate her songs.
She's looking at us
And
confused.
then, no, Missy's work will blow you away on how she got down. So shout out to Missy.
That's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
That's dope.
That's major.
And that's something nobody can ever take away from her as a writer and creative force. She's been off the scenes for a little bit.
She had a song like a couple years ago, I want to say, right?
Wild Dawkins, appreciate the support. I believe that's Wild Dawkins. Clap that shit up. Yeah, we're gonna clap that up too, goddammit. Goddammit.
Topics we're gonna talk about, right? So after the election, he goes, we talking about the people who won, people who lost. He goes, yo, in Texas, there were like 19 black women judges who got elected in Texas. I'm like, facts, we're gonna talk about that, clap that up. He goes, nah, man. What happened to all the black men? Like, what's good? And I want you to...
So you're just gonna throw me under the bus?
Yeah, right under the bus. Bowl you under, right?
Like you see the bus coming, you're just gonna be like... You could have pulled me out of the way.
No, I need you to explain that.
You just...
I was happy for our sisters.
Okay, first of all...
I was happy.
First of all, let me clap it up for the 19 sisters.
Yeah. And over 100
women in general.
Women in general won
throughout the country.
Throughout this, the elections throughout the country and stuff.
And I wasn't throwing shade on the women.
I don't know.
These are women in positions of power, but I'm saying, are men not feeling the need to also sit on, to be on the panel as judges and direct the fate of their own people? This is what I mean by moral. These women are probably going to be moral in their decision making of when they look down and see a black man or a young black teenager, and she can relive his whole story because she might be from the same upbringing and decide that maybe he's not a hardened criminal. Maybe he needs, but we also need men in those positions who've walked that walk. I just thought it was weird that it was 19. It wasn't like, if they had said 19 black judges, I'd have been like, yeah, that's what we, men, women, a couple of trans robots and shit. All of them in one circle, I would have been like, bet, we moving forward.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was 19 women was more than an anomaly to me, based on the other reports that I saw about women throughout the country who were rising to positions.
There was a Muslim woman who
prominent positions. And I'm saying, do we not have interest in the system? Yeah. Have we, as black men, fully given up on the system because we get no justice?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just was one of those kind of things. But I did not want to throw shade on the sisters.
Seemed weird to me, B.
You know what I mean? Like, you just gonna throw me under the bus like that. That was fine. That was between me and you. Between me and you. Yeah, so shout out to those sisters who doing it. And
shout out to San Francisco.
Shout out to Choi Nang Dang. Okay, yeah, like is that American money? Is that yen? We cash all that shit. That food stamps, nigga. Whatever. Appreciate that support.
Appreciate the love, man.
From Chow Nang Dang.
And this other story you told me about, San Francisco to clear marijuana charges dating back to
1975.
1975.
They're clearing all marijuana misdemeanor charges in San Francisco dating back to 1975. And
but there's people in jail so now
it's a contradiction.
Yeah.
That's going to have to be the template around the country.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people sitting in jail for selling small amounts of weed. You know what I mean? Because it was the third strike or something, and now this is recreational, so it becomes a weird situation. But you tried to get that job in '84 and you couldn't get it because you had a criminal record. Now they free that shit. You know what I mean? That shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Or how they can move your reality, around like that. But I'm very happy. San Francisco is very progressive in a lot of things. A lot of people don't know the fortune cookie that comes from San Francisco.
Well, I thought that was from China.
No, that's not from China. That's from San Francisco. I'll be watching my little documentary. I saw that.
I thought that was from China.
No, it was something that some Chinese people in San Francisco thought it would be cool to put these little sayings.
Triads.
And I believe in them sayings, so I open my.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
Give me my fucking fortune cookie. I read my shit.
One said I was gonna get a job, and I got the job.
See?
At the DOE, yeah.
See?
I was
Fortune
hyped.
cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
But another story, another dope story.
Malcolm's got these stories coming.
Facts. Another dope. LL Cool J and Ice Cube are teaming up to buy some sporting networks.
A sporting network, a multi-billion-dollar sporting network. Ice Cube and LL Cool J. Let's clap that. I know you're getting tired of the tax, man.
Yeah, you kind of wilding right today.
But you know what? We're gonna add something next week. I'm gonna add a little something, mix it up. You know what I mean? But we just again, I told you we celebrate. We just want to celebrate everything we can around here because you can get negative news anywhere else. We just trying to just celebrate, and this is what we mean by the station. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You want, and plus he got the what's that
big
shit?
three.
He got the big three,
which took off. I didn't think it was gonna be that good.
But see, he also understands it's the long game.
Yeah.
He didn't say I'm doing something outside of the NBA.
Yeah.
I'm incorporating all the NBA players who still got it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Who still got a little something, and he probably has a 10-year plan where now the most prominent players when they get out and now because the 3-man game is much different than the 4-court.
Yeah.
Trust me, you exert a lot less energy in a half-court game. You know what I'm saying? So now he's gonna have his own network. That's gonna be awesome.
First of all, I knew his thing was gonna take off once,
and he's gonna use LL's Cool J's head as one of the backboards. No,
if that's not steroids. Yeah, that was whack.
that nigga head is like this.
That was whack.
Like stand there, nigga. I'm working on my jump shot, nigga. Keep your head straight, L. Nah, I wouldn't say that. L is a big dude. He probably would punch me out.
Yeah, he beat up Jamie Foxx.
He sure did. He beat that shit out.
Yeah, he beat up Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
But I knew the big three was gonna take once I saw them talking about it on SportsCenter.
Right.
And this was right when there was LaVar Ball was talking about his stuff.
Right. They didn't give that no shine.
Nothing.
But they kept talking about the big three.
Yeah.
And see, every time a prominent player endorses it by playing,
Right.
it once again, and then you associate that player from his NBA days, and now
And those games be good.
and them games be really good.
Yeah.
Them games be really good.
Yeah.
I finally got into them a little bit. So big up to them for pulling their resources together. And you can't talk shit. You got to make it happen.
Facts.
You got to put that bread out there. You got to put that bread out there and see where that's going. Side note: somebody said something to me that I need to address.
That money was from Denmark. Danish money.
Oh, it's Danish money.
Are we in what?
Are we in Denmark?
Big up.
That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to them Danish people out there.
You said yen. That was racist.
Hey.
That's funny.
Whatever it was, we appreciate that shit. That's all I'm saying. Somebody sent me some money, and they said they will see me on Thursday. So whoever you were, there was something they sent.
See you on Thursday. Today's Thursday.
No, I think they meant next Thursday.
What's next Thursday?
So if you were still in the chat room, you made a donation because I can't bring it up on my phone here. And they said, Doc, I'll see you next Thursday. I got scared because my memory is short. Like, there's some shit going on next Thursday. Let a nigga know because, I don't want to be the one that don't be there and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I be talking shit. I be like, yeah, we're going to do that shit on Thursday. Then Thursday come with a 9, nigga. I know what you're talking about. So Whoever you are, come back out there and just say something.
What you think about African Bambaataa coming back to New York to perform?
Why you gonna ask me that shit, son?
I just
trying to stay away from all that shit, son.
I don't know. I just
Somebody said it was canceled. He canceled.
they canceled
I
it.
don't know. Somebody said.
Did he cancel the Africa Bambaataa thing? Is it canceled?
I just thought it was brazen. Like what?
Well,
Dude, it's still hot in the streets.
this is what's going on. The reason it's hot is because Poppy won't give up on it. Because we know how shit go. Anybody talking about Charlamagne shit no more.
Word.
We know our attention span is 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In real time.
Yeah.
Like they just move your shit along and they stop talking about it and it's like it never happened.
Yeah, all you have to do is just kind of just weather the storm and you be straight.
That's what I said. So
Yeah.
if Poppy wasn't out there, Bam would show up at a club and you be going, damn, what's that? And then they put that shit on pause. And you just be gonna forget all about that shit. He back on top, but Poppy's staying on it, keeping it fresh on the timeline, which makes it difficult for Bambaataa to just show up and at least it needs to be addressed.
Okay, it got shut down. Okay.
Oh, okay. See, power to people. It's one of those things.
That's dope.
And now, let me say this:
That's dope.
most of the Zulu Nation are true purists, and with the art form, it's just a few of them who were into something that was a little extra. So I don't think the entire Zulu Nation should suffer. That's my point of view.
Okay.
Right? If I'm in an organization and you at the top and you embezzled all the money, goddamn. You know what I mean? Then we should be able to, you know what I'm saying, it's still function as a business or whatever the case may
Just
be.
gave away my plans for world
Facts. Just gave that shit away. You've been throwing me under the bus all day. So, but this is so sensitive to a lot of people because it's dealing with, kids, it's dealing with a lot of stuff. So it became a very sensitive situation. But for him to just come back on the scene was a little brazen.
That's why that's the only why I asked. I was just like,
he got what are they gonna do? You know what I mean? Because it could get ugly out there. People could get hurt.
Yeah, I was just
for
like,
those who are standing against that,
Right.
and for those who like the Zulu Nation warriors who like, it is what it is.
Well, that's what's up. That they shut it down.
What did they say?
The Thursday.
Oh, Dad, I said look forward to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, see, my eyes are bad.
You all
Peace,
paranoid.
let's get free. I appreciate that. I swear, I said, damn, Thursday? Like, why would I book that on Thursday? I know we do the show. Peace, let's get free. I appreciate it too. I really do. I really do appreciate the support. You scared the hell out of me. You really did. Because I talk a lot of shit. I'll be making promises and shit.
Those jokes.
My mom used to say, I said, Ma, you owe me money. As long as I owe you, you'll never go broke. What?
That's a real black.
But like, I still don't have the money. As long as I owe you, Dwayne, you'll never go broke.
So I did some research on the immigrant caravan that they keep talking about, that Trump keeps talking about.
Yes.
Apparently that's been going on for years.
Oh, but why is he bringing it to attention now? I mean, like, why is so he can fearmonger?
Right, I heard.
Like, you better stop.
Apparently there's a law called claiming asylum. So a lot of immigrants come from like war-driven countries. They come here for asylum, and then America spends $500 million every year taking care of them.
Right.
So apparently, to lock them up and keep them, that costs $2 billion a year. So it was a white dude talking about it, a white journalist. He goes, "Yo, it costs less money to just let them in."
Gotcha.
And he said, "This is something that they've been doing for years, and that we've been paying for years." So to talk about it now and the way he's framing it,
right, made it seem like this is some new shit going on. And to again, fear is another driving factor. In this country around election time.
Exactly. All you have to do is saying they bringing in what do you say? They bringing in rapists. They bringing in
rapists and killers.
Yeah, and then that creates fear.
And that's gonna create fear. Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought that was fascinating.
Because you can't say they taking your jobs because ain't none of you niggas picking no oranges and doing the shit that a lot of them do. So stop the bullshit.
I was like, whoa,
stop the bullshit.
Again, I want to remind everybody to add the Urban Excellence Facebook page on Facebook to get part of the community and things like that. We highlight news. One dude talked about he's releasing a book, and I'm like, bet, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You want to showcase your wins, no matter how big you think they are, no matter how big or how small you think they are. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Every win is a win.
Every win is a win, especially what we are up against in this country. That's why I really appreciate these Thursdays with you guys. Just to decompress a little bit. Let's make a little fun of stuff.
Facts, rules.
Let's have a little fun. But we are up against great odds in this country, and we continue to win in spite of. You know what I'm saying? So in spite of racism, in spite of discrimination, in spite of the police shootings, in spite of all of these things, we find a way to carry on, and that's what it's really all about.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I don't want to hear, your father wasn't in your life and this and that, and that's true. But what are you going to do in spite of that? Because everybody's situation and mission coming here is different, and everybody's journey is different. You know what I mean? So stand on your square and throw your dukes up and go for it. Facts. Can I get a clap for that? Damn.
I like that.
I'm working on my Black Jesus shit. I'm gonna save the people, man.
Yeah, I like that.
Working on my shit.
Get that towel. He's sweating like a bird.
Say it again. Oh, get me a towel. Yeah. See, this is also a part of my reverend act, because when they would see you sweat, you know what I mean? They know the good word from the good man is coming.
Questions here.
Questions here in the chat. Do you think Tariq Nasheed was right in telling black people to hold their vote? Is that what that means? Hold their vote? Probably wanted to say hold. Yeah, because the J is next to the H. Hold their vote. Again, school people who really believe in the system. So you can't tell them not to vote. You know what I mean? Because they truly believe that their vote is counting for something, and it's not my disposition to tell you that it's not.
Yeah. So
maybe Tariq Nasheed understands that we are connected on a whole nother vibration, and is trying to do hold that. But, you know what I'm saying? Let's create a whole nother economic base where we can make some things happen. Perhaps. So this is why, if you voted, great. If you didn't, great. I don't give a shit.
And what's also interesting, the idea of holding our vote, right? Democrats when they have the numbers out about what they think they're gonna win, the black vote is kind of just in the tuck already.
In the tuck.
They just know we got the black vote.
We got the black vote because we gave a concert.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So imagine if we didn't vote, or say we voted Republican, right?
Right.
It wouldn't even be close.
No, absolutely.
It wouldn't even be close. So that's why the argument is still out there. You know what I mean?
So the argument is out there, and again, your reality is what you make it. You know what I mean? That's like me telling you Jesus don't exist. Why would I do that? For those who truly believe that that's reality, because it does exist to those who believe that shit. So I don't get into that. That's not my disposition. It's never been my disposition. I never try to get on a pedestal and act like because I studied a little bit more than this person did, that I now have the authority to get on my Facebook page and shit on your beliefs. That's not what we do here. You know what I mean? So we pass some information. We share some concepts. A good teacher, because everybody think they're fucking teaching that. That's the problem. A good teacher puts the lesson up on the board. And that lesson should be a reflection of his or her walk. You know what I mean? And then you take the lesson, and Bruce Lee said it best. Good teachers don't lead you to the answers, right? The good teacher sets the vibration and environment for you to reach that conclusion on your own, whatever that conclusion is. So I prefer to just share some concepts about hope and, the vote and this and that, in hopes that maybe it can make sense. And when the next election come around, we just do a little bit of thinking. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. But I'm not going to sit up here and tell you, don't vote. Right? Nah, I'm not going to do that.
Another question from Eyeball Therese. Question for both of you. What subjects did each of you excel in while in school? What subject did you struggle in? Did you run or shy from any of those challenging subjects? You want to go first?
I excelled in lunch. Lunch was like, no, serious. Lunch, because remember, the lunch table was the first drum machine. So lunch for me was when I practiced my skills as an MC. You know what I mean? But in terms of elementary school, math and English, I told you, when I was in the first grade, I was so far ahead of the class that they didn't have nothing else for me to do. And my mother never sat me down for my ABCs. I'm a genius.
He just said first grade.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right? Me and another kid, Angel, so I'm not going to take all the credit. Me and him were just sitting around with nothing to do. I just was able to get it. You know what I mean? So all of those subjects, I fared well in most of those subjects. It wasn't until I got to high school that things began to change, because I was carrying guns and smoking weed and beating on lunchroom tables and shit like that. And I had no interest because I began to recognize that the shit they was teaching me was obsolete. For instance, they was teaching me how to use manual typewriters. This was my shop class in Garpers. And they were using electrical typewriters in the real world. I did not understand that. I fought the teacher on it every day. And he even pulled me to the side and said, listen, you're right, but this is the curriculum. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you teaching me shit that's obsolete. Right. And it didn't make much sense to me. And so for me, that's what it was. All of the basic subjects, but I was an avid reader from the time I was 5 and 6, because my mother, that's all my mother did was read. Read. So when you, as parents, these children pick up your tendencies and stuff like that. So reading opened up dimensions for me to, and, well, I won't say that, but go ahead.
For me, my favorite subject was history. That's why I got my degree in history. Whatever. I was good in science too until I think my senior year when Clinton's here. We took physics, right? And it got ugly that year. Like it was just I'd never seen that combination of letters and numbers in my life.
Right.
And that was kind of it. I was just like, nah, I'm straight on this. But everything else I was kind of really good in. Math, I was decent in, and I just told the whole story about my mother being a great math teacher, but I did not like going to her for help.
Got you. She was real technical.
Yeah, I was just like, yo, I'll figure this out, and then
I was a math superhero to Eli from like up until the 7th grade.
Until the Common Core came.
Up into high school.
Right. Because I just come and show him how to carry these numbers in his head and shit.
Everybody was getting upset because
he was like, wow, my dad is like a math superhero. And then they put letters in that shit. And then he just looked at me one day like, Dad, you
don't know how to do this.
You don't know how to do this, do you? And I had to come clean. I was a dummy when the letters came in. So, that's it. Any other questions? Black people just...
Shout out to Yolando Casey. Appreciate you,
Yolando. Clinton was impeached. Okay.
Impeached doesn't mean you were kicked out of office.
They're going at you, son. It's a debate, son.
I'm just saying, it doesn't mean you were kicked out of office.
It's a YouTube debate, son.
Impeached means you are brought up.
Son, you gotta respond, son.
Like I said, impeached means you were brought up on charges. Doesn't mean
the YouTube
you were
laws,
impeached. He actually finished out his term, didn't he?
In the YouTube debate book, nigga, you gotta go at that
person,
Am I bugging?
Son. Clinton finished out his term. He wasn't thrown out of office.
Right, and he killed a lot of black people, put a lot of black people in jail with the 3 strikes and you're out.
Dotson for president. You know what? I like this guy. Who is he? Saul Perez. I like this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Any other questions?
Can
y'all, Alejandro, y'all internet connection is bad? Oh, you saying should we terminate the show?
I'm just saying, I ain't hearing. No other questions?
What happens after Trump has gone? Then they will put a new Democrat in there that makes you think that now that Trump is gone, the boogeyman, that things will get better. And then 4 years from there, take a picture of your neighborhood. If you think I'm bullshit, take a picture of the neighborhood. And then 4 years later, post the next picture and tell me what the fuck you see. Because that's what I do. I have to click, and then, change is coming to America. Nigga, it used to be Chinese store there, and it's still a Chinese store there.
Yeah, I've never seen a Chinese store close.
Nah, they don't close.
Yeah. Nah. I've never seen a Chinese store close.
Nah, son.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they getting their food from, because I never see trucks and deliver the food. Yeah. You know, other restaurants, you see them pull up, and you go, okay, that's the delivery. They always got enough food back there. Always.
That's a
no
fact.
Disrespect.
That's a fact.
What do you want? We have. That's just how they get down. Yeah.
Somebody asked about my wave. Tell them.
About your waves?
Somebody, Black Dad, Malcom get any waves yet?
Yeah, son. Yeah, they coming in, son.
Coming in.
Because if they didn't show up this Thursday, they coming in. They coming in. Yeah, they there. He got that good hair. His mom's got good hair. Yeah.
What else?
Because my shit is fucked up. If my shit go any higher than this, it'll just be like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, really? Yeah.
Do you have Tammy Crawford? You know what, Tammy? Email urbanx.nyc@gmail.com.
What is she saying?
She was talking about math curriculum for my mom.
Oh,
so
okay.
Email urbanx@nyc@gmail.com. Anybody else in the chat, if you have any questions, you have any comments from the show, you can email us at urbanx@nyc@gmail.com. Also, go to the blog for some of our articles, our past
Malcolm, when are those
episodes.
cups going on sale?
Chill.
That's what somebody's asking.
Oh.
Somebody's
I
asking.
thought you were stressing me. Listen, soon. We're going to have a lot of nice stuff for y'all soon. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody said no one fights for black immigrants. Why? You know why. You know what I mean? Anything dealing with black people, these people don't fight.
Well,
hey, Doc, Governor appoints black woman as Secretary of State to replace Kemp.
So Kemp
was forced to resign? Say that again?
Kemp was forced to resign from his position when he was in charge of the polls, like the ballots.
Okay.
So, because remember, he was in charge of that, and then they had to force a runoff. So, I guess there's a black woman in charge? No, it's done.
Def Rock, I said, Malcolm, did you ever wear locks?
Never.
I did. I used to have locks.
Yeah, I remember. I saw the pictures. Yeah,
I used to have locks.
Never.
Yeah, I was.
When I played football, I wanted to lock my head because all the nice football players had locks.
That's a stereotype.
It is. Whatever. But I remember I went to a football combine.
It's like saying all Chinese people have good credit.
Whatever. I went to a football combine, and again, this is how I'm thinking. Like, all the nice players, they all got their heads locked, and then we were about to do 1-on-1s. Like, receivers.
He
didn't.
I remember
he didn't.
Toasted your ass.
At the combine in Jersey? No, he didn't.
In Jersey?
No, he didn't. He didn't. He
ass.
said, yo, you trying to start this off? We're trying to go 1-on-1. I'm like, bet. I can't be scared. Now, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool.
Toasted.
No, he didn't. Lock up.
All I saw was the locks.
No, locked up.
Doc, where is the food stamp shirt? I try not to run too much of my clothes, especially not for TV. Like around the house, I wear the same shit. I wear sweats and t-shirts. My daughter was like, "Damn, switch it up, damn, Dad."
This being on like TV every week. This is
made me bring out more of my attire.
Yeah, this is rough.
I'm a white t-shirt and shorts kind of guy around the house all day. All day. But now I gotta dress up and shit. This shit is getting crazy. Black Dot, would you ever wear curls? No, that's a West Coast thing. No disrespect to the brothers on the West, but brothers on the East didn't rock too many curls.
Good question for you.
Yes.
Would y'all choose to be the leader of the conscious community? I've heard you speak about this a number of times. Go ahead.
Would I choose to be the leader?
Yes. Go ahead.
Absolutely not. I want no parts of that crazy shit. Point blank. Now, I will say this for those who don't know the history. I am one of the forefathers who started the new renaissance
talk your talk.
of the conscious community. In 2002 when we brought Phil Valentine, me, Shabazz, and brother Chris were the ones who brought Phil Valentine in and reintroduced a new generation to the conscious community. But once it became a social thing, see, when we were doing it, there were small settings at colleges and these VHS tapes that you had to go home and study as a part of a group. And it was the integrity of it was great. There were no debates. There was none of that kind of stuff. You knew everybody in the class. I told you in my class was Panic, was Asir Ducatiers, was Adika Butler, was Red Pill, Blue Pill, Rich from 3. We were all classmates, learning together. Then everybody kind of spun off and started doing their own thing. But once it became a social media thing, that took off, and now you have people who are not ready to get into that level of information, trolling, and then it became who's bigger than this one, and then I had to fall back. So the true principles of it, I'm always with when people want to come out of something, and even the conscious community, it's not a permanent stop. It's usually when you're coming out of Christianity or another form of religion and you need to deprogram. This is a nice place, so it used to be, to just re-scramble your thought process, and then you have to go off and do your work, whatever your work is. So I hope that kind of answers the question. Somebody said it is now an EBT card. It's not the food stamp. Now check this out. I have a little bit of gripe with the people on the EBT. All right, and I gotta put this out there.
Oh boy.
Now listen, me and wifey used to go to BJ's and Costco's And we be in there budgeting and shit. You know, we think we could put that in the cart. I don't know, put that on the side. You know, we get to the counter, we can afford. And here these motherfuckers come with 2 shopping carts. Boom, boom. All kind of snacks and shit. Super disco snacks and they shit filled to the top. 2 goddamn carts and the kids is all raggedy and shit. And there's nothing healthy in the goddamn cart. Nothing, but they don't even look at the prices. They go 30 steaks. Roll in there and shit, right? And then they used to be in BJ's and Costco's, and y'all know what I'm talking about. They used to play elevated music, and man, you come down the aisle, you give them little snacks.
They nicking it up?
Yeah, and then you be like, so you can get another one, you ask them a question like, oh, what aisle do they serve this in? Oh, this is tasty and shit, like you gonna buy it and shit. And now, we used to get right to the front of the line, because everybody in there had cash. Yeah. Now we way in the back, the little raggedy ass kids and shit, dancing around and shit. So that's my only gripe with the EBT crew. No disrespect. I think, you know, Costco's and them should go back to just people who got cash. See, that's all I'm saying. And they don't even come down the aisle with them snacks no more. Them fucking kids eat all that shit. Just rape that shit in their cart and keep it moving and shit. So, yeah.
Shout out to Dr. Don Coogee.
Dr. Don Coogee.
All right.
He gave cash?
Yes.
Shout out to Dr. Don Cooley. Appreciate that.
How do you feel about the State of the Culture show? How do you feel about that?
I don't watch the State of the... I tried to watch it once or twice, and that's no... I like Joe Button. Is it Button or Buttons?
Joe Button.
Joe Button. Because I always screw his name up and shit. I think it's too many people on the show.
Way too many people on the show.
So I'm a little confused that they're all vying for time and this and that. So it's a little confusing. So I don't watch it. But he's decoding the culture.
Yo, listen. I ain't want to start no. I was ready for the smoke. You ain't want to start no beef.
I don't want to start no beef. I appreciate, if anything, I appreciate that. I appreciate decoding the culture and all that kind of stuff because when he had a chance to watch a lot of that. I told you, Malcom beats me and keeps me in the room. He lets me have little to no internet access until before the show. You know what I'm saying?
When I need him sharp.
When he need me sharp.
I need him sharp.
I'll be dark on what be going on and shit, you know?
Somebody asked what Eli's show is.
Eli's show is The World According to Eli. It is on, we will put it in the link.
I will.
WATE podcast. Again, we're at show number 9 right now.
Season 3.
Season 3, clap that up for Eli, right? I'm the only one who do 2 shows around here. I work it.
I produce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever.
I produce.
50 jobs.
Yeah. My wifey got 50 jobs, so we all make it work.
I'm about to hire Odyssey as my social media manager because I don't like.
No, she's the associate producer. She runs and gets us shit.
This is true.
Right?
This is true. But I'm gonna need you to start posting because I don't like.
Twitter
and Instagram. It's annoying. It takes away from my mental fortitude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Major 2873. Thank you so much. But Eli's show is coming along. We're still working out the aesthetics because we got
we got green
screens and we're trying to map it all out because we want to do something different for his show. But I'll be busting him down. I bust Eli down.
No, you lose every single battle we have.
You hear this? I lose every single battle. Watch the show. I'll be busting.
Melo had 2 points. I just wanted to let you know.
Melo only had 2 points last night.
He went 1 for 11.
1 for 11.
Just wanted to let you know.
Black Dad deserves a raise. He does.
Ooh, I can't defend that.
My pops works hard, everybody.
Yeah, I work hard, but I love what I do.
Somebody asked, what made you do Hip Hop Decoded? I think this would be a good one to end the show on.
Okay, so what made me do Hip Hop Decoded? I didn't see any books that dealt with hip hop from a spiritual standpoint. I saw them dealing with hip hop from an economic standpoint, social standpoint, and a historical standpoint. But after sitting at the foot of the masters of Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, C. Freeman L., Dr. Leola Africa, Jewel Pulcrum, all of these masters who were teaching, I felt that I would be the perfect one to translate what they were teaching into the language of hip hop, because I would look around and, Henry D. Bernardo, throw him in there, and I didn't see any young people because I showed up in 95 in the conscious community and it was all elders. You know what I mean? And I was all the hip hop vibration. And I said, well, damn, it would be dope if somebody translated this to where young people of my generation could understand it and let that lead them the higher principles. That's why I chose the name Black Dot, because Dr. Richard King, R.I.P., when he explained that there's a piece of God in all of us within this black dot, within the pineal gland, that we can access the multiverses that we speak about. I thought that would be the perfect name, because in hip hop, you have to take on a name. So now I was in a new community called the Conscious Underground community with Sister Bert and Big Man and Azariah and Brother Leon and Clemson Brown, and I was the only hip hopper there. So I wanted to move this to another vibration, so I took on the name The Black Dot. And of course, it's also the period after every sentence, because after I speak my piece, there's nothing else to be said. Yeah. I get deep. So that's why, I felt that the book was needed to introduce these concepts, because everything we do is spiritual. Everything. You know what I mean? So I wanted to put something in the Akashic records that said, now hip-hop can be metaphysical, occult, deal with numerology, astrology, deal with the magic. And so that's what that boiled down to.
All right.
And with that being said,
don't forget to check us out. If don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to share to a friend, share to another friend. If you want to listen to the podcast, the audio, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Radio Public, Castbox.
Because we got to get up to 10,000.
Audio Boom.
Every 10,000, I'm going to take a drink. If we get up to 50,000, I'm just going to do Hebron. Right here live. Just fucking Hebron.
So yeah, right, with that being said, we appreciate everybody for joining us for another week. We appreciate the live chat who was on it today.
Yeah, the live chat was on it.
They were on it today, you know what I'm saying? And yeah.
Peace.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban excellence, a product of my residence. From 40 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't tryna go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.